Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you? Are you guys willing to summer?
Yes.
Spring? This year there's no spring. When winter finishes, then they start summer. Anyway, good. Yeah. We are very fortunate, good opportunity to study today again. In order to achieve enlightenment, free from all the sufferings, and we need to know how free from the sufferings, how achieve enlightenment. Therefore, we need to study, work together. Is a very good opportunity. Then we Buddhism always say, very important to set up the perfect motivation. And then you finish, then you have also dedication, achieve enlightenment, whatever we do, virtuous, positive things. The first we think about, set up the motivation to all the sentient beings, same as us, wanting happiness, successful life, right? All the sentient beings not wanting any sufferings, any problems. Therefore, we like to help to other people, but we have no power. Right now we are on the mud. Is it mud? The mud. Mud. When we on the mud, we try to set as some other person, but we walk, we also go together down. We said jump, sink. Therefore, then when we achieve the enlightenment, Buddhahood, then we have power. We have ability to help all the sentient beings. Then we say, I wish all the sentient beings free from all the sufferings, achieve enlightenment. In order to that, first I have to achieve enlightenment without. Therefore, I do my best to practice meditation. Therefore, today I'm going to, as a teaching, study, and benefit all the sentient beings, achieve enlightenment. Okay, good. Maybe I'll pass. Okay? Then we also have to create the merit. We pray for Buddha, Bodhisattvas, all the many different kinds, deities. Is a help for us. Also, sometimes we have some lot of obstacles, some demons to obstacle for us, not successful our whatever we want to do, also block something. And that time also we have to make the prayer. Then we have many different deities for prayer, but this time we go to the prayer for the Tara, Mother Tara. Mother Tara is usually we have, people are male and female. And Buddha is also male Buddha and female Buddha. The Tara is female Buddha. She is the, I already told before, anyway. Buddha's compassion and bodhicitta.
So it is the wisdom relies in emptiness and compassion, that arise in the form of a deity is Tara.
근데 인자다 제대로 드마들다 상지 관계가 다 쉬어 내게 왔나래서.
Therefore, Ayatara contains all the blessings of all the Buddhas.
어떤데 이마다 아니 당하고 제대로 드마는 제게 다 남주 아주 뭐는 좀 해나 아니 제대로 드마다 전에 이어와 아니 니슈치와 보다 뭐보고 지지해서.
And so therefore, if we pray to Mother Tara, then our prayers will be answered or accomplished much faster, and it has because she has the power and she combines all the blessings of all the Buddhas.
아니 지서 드마세야 대치 당하고 남백이 배배 남백의 사기 니스 따르스 맞아 차상 기타 문제사 또 하는 이 말이죠.
And also it is the common deity of all the different traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, like Satya, Gelug, and Karyu. They all rely on this deity, Ayatara.
아니 제대로 드마세야 다 상계 관계에 즉 두명이 서라고 즉 내가 내게 즉다 누가 많은 거 생기라고 그래서
And also Ayatara is like the secretary of all the Buddhas, who come forward to do all the tasks.
아니 나도 지금 제가 가지 잡아 뭐는 가지 좀 많았다 제대로 막 갑자기 다 편해 맞았다 저도 전에 나도 그랬어.
And so whenever we pray or whenever we rely on her, she will immediately come and help us.
어떤지 이봐자 아니 다다 지서 좀 많이 제단들이 남의 잡아라 양치가도 와다 근데 양치 통고 말이 나도 제초를 했어.
And in order to do the practice of Ayatara, we don't have to receive initiations or empowerments. We can do it even without those.
아니 삼삼치 양치다 모두 남백이야. 이든 사실 아직 왕도 되는 마토가 있나요? 양의 제무 좋아하는 그래서.
And for some deities, in Buddhism, you can't do the practice of their deity if you have not received the initiation of their deity.
근데 이제 다또 이치고 이치 개정 시간이 말했어.
So the main thing is the devotion or the faith. That is very important.
근데 이치 매와 옛날 안다지 여나 매나로 섬치 쏘다가는 가서 다 저도 틀린데 도요 말했어.
So if we don't have strong faith and if we pray just with the doubt in our mind, maybe there is such thing, maybe there is no such things, but I will just pray anyway. If we think in that way and pray like that, then it will be hard to accomplish whatever you're praying for.
좋아. 아니 삼성치 소소치 샘타데 녀다지. 아니 뭐는 저 대문도 말았나? 당근도치. 그래 생주 차야로 내가 이 제가 이렇게 되는 거 대다 소소 대화가 맞아 그래서.
And also sometimes we're expecting the things to happen so soon or fast. And then we pray, and then when that doesn't happen, then we lost hope, thinking that there's no such things as deity who can accomplish my prayers and so forth. So in thinking like that, we lose hope and so forth, and that is again because of not having enough or strong faith in the deity.
대지 양아치 쇼니네 다 소소절로 손남다 된적이 참 잡히하고 매화래서.
And so, of course, on top of that, prayers that we do, we also have to have strong support of merits in our mind. If we don't have that, then no matter how much we pray, we can't accomplish.
대지다 당도 즉 내수시 루루체네지 다 당분당가 줘야 당 아니 지금 단도시 가래지는 계속 감당하긴 하는데 대한서 가래야 가지 다 손도 속자 속사고 요랬어.
And so while you're sitting here with the cross-legged, bearing pain in your knees, and doing all the prayers and practices, you accumulate a great amount of merits.
그와 아니 테라소는 다 이식이 초세야 돼. 아니 지금 맞다 봐도 나도면 봐도 동반에서 되게 걸어 싸면 당하더라. 다 이식이 초고서는 그래서.
And then, so if you meditate or contemplate on the death and impermanence, selflessness, emptiness, and so forth, in regards to the wisdom, then accumulate wisdom also.
아니 다음에 맞다 봐야 되다 끼치끼치 지로를 쳐서 집이 취재를 땜고 지요 말해서 알아부터 이보이 주간으로 맞다 주간.
And so everything that is compounded, everything that is compounded, brought together with cause and conditions, then it has the nature to disintegrate, to perish, and it doesn't remain forever. It always, keeps on disintegrating moment by moment.
근데 되게 맞다 받으라 잘하니요 말해서 왔다 라바도 다 가서 뛰어가도 약간 이렇게 쉬고 신경도 도시 바깥으로 야로 세계에서 가서 내가 하고 왔어.
So there are also different level of impermanence. Like some are subtle and some are gross. And gross are the ones that we can easily understand or see. Subtle are those that are more difficult to understand or to see. So like the change of the weather, change of the color in the leaves, or like the leaves falling in the fall and again growing in the spring and so forth. Those are gross changes that we can see easily, and that's the impermanence also.
아니 나서 니네 개로 했어요. 다 때가우처럼 도움을 와.
And then also like people growing old, over many years we can see the difference, but we're actually growing every day. Day by day we're growing older and older, but that's very difficult to see.
근데 지금 개로와도 이제로와도 니마 찍 차서 와도 로 차서 게 말고 왔어.
When we see the difference in our appearance of youth and the old age didn't become old just in overnight, right? It gradually became old like that.
아니 가서 대세로 차차에나 그냥 니마치기 대세 쇼케네 군다 받아 다 니마치 다 매로 먼지로 왔어.
And then changes in a day, like the night, morning, the morning to afternoon and the evening. That also there's a change like that, which is quite easy to see.
아니 second, 근데 karma, 근데 추세, 근데 추세 지다니, 근데 다 니마다 가로, 니가 아니 공다, 아니 제다 되는 방식 방도 군주로 왔어.
And so if you break that down, you can break down to like the whole day, to the evening, morning, and afternoon part, and then that you break down to the hour, then to minutes, then to seconds, and then even split seconds, and so forth. So milliseconds. So if you go, short and so, that is very difficult to understand. It's difficult to see. Yeah. So, but the gradual process of the change of the day doesn't happen like that. It happens, through many hours, minutes, seconds, split seconds, and so forth. And so everything that is impermanent, has the nature of disintegration. So, but in our mind, we have this mistaken mind, thinking, that I will stay forever. I'm not going to die, or at least I'm not going to die today, and so forth. So, thinking like that kind of mind grasping at the permanence of one's life, that's a mistaken mind. So most of us, we think that, I will live up to 60, 70, or maybe 80 even. Right?
Maybe 90s.
We all think like that, right?
Right. You don't think, maybe I'm right today, or tomorrow. We never think this, right?
And because of having that mind that thinks that I'm going to live for a long time, we're not able to engage in the practice or Dharma practice right away.
And
so what will happen if we have to die without being able to practice Dharma? So if we haven't practiced Dharma, then we haven't practiced, we haven't accumulated any virtues, right? We haven't accumulated any merits or wisdoms, right? And but we have accumulated. So if we have not accumulated wisdom or virtues, then what have we accumulated? We have accumulated non-virtues, right? So there is no caution, not much caution or doubt about whether I have created non-virtuous actions or not, right? It's, we create non-virtuous actions from the time we wake up until we go to sleep or even during the sleep. And so in Buddhism we believe or we accept that there is a future life, right? The life after this life. And so because there is a future life, what kind of life we're going to have in the future depends what kind of causes we create right now in this life. So that there could be causes also created in our previous lives, right? So we don't know what we have created. If we have created any good causes to have good rebirth in the future or not. So we can't rely on that. So what we have to do is we have to create right now in this life to make sure that we'll have a good rebirth in the future. And also same with the results of our study. How what we're going to do when we take the exam and so forth, depends on how well we have studied during the class, right? And also, if we have gained a good grade, in our test exams, then it's easier to find a good job, right? So if we have, got all the A's, A's in all the tests, then it's easy to find job also, right? And so all the impermanent things come from cause and conditions, so therefore we have to create a good cause and conditions. And so if we have not created virtuous actions, then the only thing that we have created is the non-virtuous actions. And what will the non-virtuous action lead us is to the lower realms, to unfortunate rebirths. And so the unfortunate rebirth or the lower realms, there are 3 different types, as explained in Buddhism. Those are hell realm, hungry ghost realm, and animal realms. So of those 3, the hell and hungry ghost, we don't see it, we don't know where it is, right? But what we do see is the animals, right? And then in the animals, you can call them, can categorize into 2, as domestic and wild, right? Those which are not owned by people and those which are owned by people. And so those which are owned by people, they don't have any freedom. Right? They're controlled by people, exploited by people. And if they're in the wild, not cared by people, then they always have the fear of being eaten by another animal, or big ones by big ones, or big one by many small ones, and so forth. So they always have this fear of being harmed or killed by other beings. And so in order to prevent the rebirth in such an unfortunate state, we should create virtuous actions which are the good cause to have a good rebirth in the future. And then creating virtues, is not easy. You have to have a strong faith and devotion and reason why you want to create and so forth. So, and also to have that inspiration or interest to do that. And because we are always influenced by the non-virtuous actions, it's very difficult to create a virtuous action. So in order to be able to successfully accumulate virtuous action, then we have to pray to powerful beings like Ayatara and so forth. So I think so anyway, we're doing this, practice, of the praises to 21 Taras, right? And so Geshe is giving this explanation, of these verses that we recite. And I think we went through 6, up to 6 or 5. I remember last time we finished?
We finished at 5, I think today that's 6. Yeah.
So we start from 6, right?
I think I'll do and not much, that to go sit down. And then let the bala and the chugging on the table, walking on the table, knees, this what?
Excellent. Could we read the whole thing through to get in that spirit and then go back to it?
Oh, that's good.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
That's a good idea. You should be able to do it all for God. And not the Chazan Yam to
So let's all recite it together one time.
Page 221.
Page 221. Master, chanting master.
Yes, so page 221. Oh, my prostrate as an
she whose face combines 100 autumn moons and fullness, blazing with like rays of splendor, as 1,000 star collection. Homage golden blue one lotus, water-born and heaven adornment, giving effort from austerities, patience, meditation, her spirit. Homage crown of Tathagatas, actions triumph without limit, rely on thy conqueror's children, having reached every perfection. Homage filling with tutare, whom desire, direction, and space, trampling with her feet the 7 worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the All-Lord, Shakra, Agni, Brahma, Madhu, honored by the host of spirits, cross-raisers, Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with her triumphant sounds, destroying false magic diagrams, perfect pressing left out right, blazing in a raging fire blaze. Homage to her very dreadful, destroyer of Mara's champion. She with frowning lotus visit, who is slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart her fingers, adorn her with freedom mudra. Like great masses all excited, all directions will adorn her. Homage she so joyous radiant, crowned emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with tutare, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage she able to summon all her guardians assembly, shaking, crowning with her moon sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage crowned adorned with crescent, moon all ornaments most shining. Amitabha in her hair now, sending out much light eternal. Homage she may breathe a blaze like beyond ending fire abiding. Righteous and joys around you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it. Scaling with the ladder Munda, 7 levels she does conquer. Homage happy, virtuous, peaceful, she whose field is peace nirvana. She endowed with home and Swaha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder. Frees with home and knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage to the letter of the shape of silver blow. Life for stamping shapes of 3 worlds, Meru, Mandara, and Vinya. Homage holding in her hand the earmarked moon of Deva lake form, with her spoken Tara and faith, totally dispelling poison. Homage she whom gods and their kings, and the king are ours to honor. Armored in all joyful splendor, she whose sufferings and conflicts. Homage she who's to wife bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with white Tara and Mutare. She dispels severe contagion. Homage full of liberating. Tara does earthly dangers. Destroys hosts of spirits, Yasha, and raises horses supreme Ture. These praises with the root mantras, and prostration is thus our 21.
방금 진데 쇼라가 좀 맞지 되게 잡아. 근데 아니 주만하고 저기 담아놨던 데들 낳고 있는 나도 좀 되게서 대나도 참을 텐트와이나 또 텐트 좀 하셔야 그래서.
So by hearing the explanation of these verses, later when you recite, if you can think of what it means as you recite the words, if you can also think the meaning, then it's more beneficial.
네. 어디 다 드린 나도 쇼라가 두 파티 이해서.
And so we start from the verse 6 today.
아니 시타 지서 좀 말아 또 정말아. 아니 축이 남게 거는 또 봐도 누구 거는 남게 또 봐. 이 방법 뭘 마셔 그랬어.
And so this part, is praised in terms of two kayas, the two bodies, the enjoyment body and the truth bodies.
봐. 아니 다 당고들아야 아니 시외 남게 거고 또 봐나 전부 거는 남게 거는 또 봐. 이 잘해 봐.
And to the praising in reference the enjoyment body, there's there again two enjoyment bodies, like praising Tara with reference to the wrathful body, and praising the Tara with reference to the peaceful body.
아니 다 아니 시외 남게 것도 봐도 다 죽죽 해서 죽.
And the peaceful body, or peaceful aspect, praising the Tara in reference to the peaceful aspect, and again has 6 categories.
다 데리는 것도 다 사실 나와 직대별 하체만 남지자 다 지들 좀 말았다 기바체를 해 뜨거리 해서 그리고 사실 때 직대별 하체만 남지자 그런 거는 또 봐.
And
직대별 하체로 사실로 해서.
So today, the first one is the first one is praising with reference to how even the great worldly gods worship her.
사실 그런 거예요. 도바디 쇼를 갖다 가요. 도바디 쇼를 갖다 가지. 사실 나왔지 봐.
So this is the 5th category, and this is again the verse 6.
다 아니 텐딩 직대면 다 가려나 다 샹서 자신 말아 청바 응나서 뭐시 좀마 좀보는 저다 남자 내지 초지는데 또 마시 다 던져 샹사가 해서 그러고.
And so this is homage worshipped by the all lords, the Shakra, Agni, Brahma, Marut, and is honored by the host of spirits, corpse raisers, Gandharvas, and Yakshas. So these are the great gods, great worldly gods who praise to Ayatara.
아니 나도 샹사로 다 솔라 샹사 같은다. 원직 때문에 사치 뭐 두두 샹사적에 예제서 좀 나타나 가지고 샹사가 이해해서 그래서.
So first one is the homage. It's a homage to whom? A homage to the Tara, who is praised by the great worldly gods.
그러고 아니 텐디 따라서 가르나 얘네로 샤조 종이 아니 라이 뭐 자신 샹사 자신세도 자신세.
So these great gods, the great worldly gods, one of them, which is the Brahma, and it says the Eastern world. I think it says Eastern, but Eastern must be Eastern world. The one who guards the Eastern world, and is the Brahma.
아니 다 샬루 종에는 transform 메라세.
So that's Indra, and the one who guards the chakras, the Zambulik chakras. So the one who guards the Eastern world, is the Indra, and then there's the fire god who guards the east and south.
아니 땡근 지대 쪽에 상바
소를 맞아. 저 청주자서.
말을
저는
효쇼 신지
and the Yama, is the one who goes in the southern direction.
아니 너시다 아 너쇼의 치랑 공부다 치라 좋아
And then Chula Lui Ombo.
치라 리용 너상대 치라 리용
And then the god, it says the water god, the Naga, the king of the Nagas, the water god, is the one who guards the western world.
아니 지대 가라 땡근 지대 좀 상바
And then there's a Brahma who protects the above world, the world above.
아니 호고 쇼지 나무 야 그러라고 때마 르나세 되더라 때마
And then the one who guards the below world, the world in the below, is called Dharma. I don't know what's the word for Sanskrit.
아니 다 나서지 원슈드나 다 대조 다 대라소가 원슈드 바이 다 대라소가 되더라 원슈드 높이 원슈도 조로 다 하는지 기백되게 그래.
And so these are the gods, the worldly gods, and these and so forth. So there are maybe also maybe shows others. These praise to Ayatara with veneration.
다 정보로나 찾아나는데 다 대마트 아니 정보 세대 아니 롤랑 찾아세 다 정보 상실 원대지 코다 초지다 보세요 들어.
And then also this it talks about the others, the spirits like the honors, the host of the spirits, the corporates, Gandharvas, Yashas, and so forth. And
다 아니 손부터 수분 콜 자신지 콜 투자.
And so these are the goal. What is what?
다들 정보로나 투자 난다. 호텔 등에 대가 좋고 대가 콜 좋아. 아니 자신이 콜 투자세.
And so then there's also these spirits, some of them, they're in the retinue of these, the worldly, the gods like Brahma and so forth. So this is, it says that the cannibals and zombies, or I think Gandharvas, or maybe it's anyway, it means that there's a kind of spirit who resides on the eating smells.
너시진 속, 다 너시진 속 나와서도 안 들주고 다 제대로 좀 하나 가지 다 또가 피그래. 들이 좀 하다가 다 장착이 있어요.
And so these are the spirits, who are in the retinues, of the god Indra, and
너시 초진데 또 맞다 눈이 다 고도 또 피그래서.
남체도 가려 장소.
그거 제가 좀 남자스러워. 내진지 소 남도지서 코진데 또 봤어.
And also there's the other gods like the Vaishana, the word god and so forth. So all these praise to the Tara. So this Tara, to whom all these great worldly gods and host of the spirits pray, to that Ayatara I make prostrations.
근데 지서 다 그래. 자보지고 남도세 다 놀라러 왔어. 오다 공주가 아니다. 지서 좀 말라. 다 눈이 다 쏟아 그래 해서로.
And so even the great gods like the word god, the Vaishana, also pray to Tara. So to that kind of Tara, I pay homage.
알아? 어떤지 안에 좀마치라 리슨지 동아 사바다. 신나가 다 코란소 양지 안에 리다 생지 동아 사바 받지 못 줘봐. 어떤지 제대로 거기서 다 쏟아 그래 해서로 왔어.
So so this Tara will so this Tara will also eradicate all the sufferings of the mind and the body, and will remove all the obstacles, all the external and internal obstacles.
어떻게든 다 지들 좀한테 직된 벨사 차상이 딱 또박 이세기
and who will protect you in this and future lives. To the Aryatara, who is a worthy object of praise and veneration by all the gods and spirits. And so through that kind of Tara, pay homage, the one who is not only praised or praised by the humans, but even the gods and the spirits. So this, the name of this Tara is called the victorious Tara. And she has, it's, I think like a brown, a dark brown, a dark red, which is like a brown, right? Dark brown color body. So at the beginning of it is I pay homage, homage, so that's homage, paid homage, to that kind of Aryatara. And so anyway, in short, we can say I'm going to pay homage to the Tara, who is praised by all these great worldly gods and spirits. And then the seventh verse, number 7, says is about praising the Tara, with reference to how she destroys all opponents. And then the verse is the homage with her tray and pay sound, destroying false magic diagrams, her feet pressing left out, right in, blazing in, raging fire blaze. 아니 다 샤다로 다 샤스런 타게잖아. 아니 지저 드라마스 아니 시당 셰 다 셰벤 다반입니다. 시당 셰벤 다반입니다. 선천나 현지 아니 조슈 쇼방가 맞다. 제 집에 다 제세와데 다 가서 좀에도 말했어. 페이지 같은 개발시 된다지 링아 자좀 다도바라 때니 바로번 종이가 들어가다야. 샤상 예사 그러. So the meaning of this, the word tre and pei, te means to subdue, to destroy, to subdue, and sorry, tre means to destroy, subdue, and pei means to split, to burst apart or split. And so those who can be subdued in a wrathful way, she will, or peaceful way, she will subdue with a peaceful aspect.
And che다 패징나 잡로발라 때네스 다 버르부 버른 중고라는 좀 버르부 아니 삼바도 요왕한 같아서 다 매버서 그래. 끼치냐라 다좀 그래서 알고.
And so by altering that sound of pe and te, you destroy all the opponents, others, here it says the magic diagrams or the witchcraft, black magic, and so forth. Or even the bad intentions and bad actions of others. And so this is a mantra. So it's the pay and tre and pay is a very powerful mantra. So by reciting that, you can destroy all these opponents. And then it says that her feet is in the left out and right in. So this is the position that Aryatara sits in. So the left out, left right, and stretch out slightly, is symbolized as wisdom relies in emptiness, and the right, left, bent in, is symbolized as a great compassion towards all beings.
야 대마다 대야 다지 이제도 돈이 또 해랍지 라떼네 아니 문제비 숙차송 다 시작되거든 맞네 자에서 그러고.
And so she praises all this, the unfavorable conditions, so all the opponents under her feet by the power of great compassion and wisdom relies in emptiness.
대 아니 된지가 이제도 돈이 또 해랍지 이제 매랍지 봐와 때네 아니 그래 다 문제비 숙차송 다 인정하지 그래서 매봐서 그래서
And so by blazing the fire of this wisdom relies in emptiness and great compassion, she burns all the opponents and all the negative forces.
Okay? 다 같이 제당 패식을 놔지 자 줘봐들 때네 아니 바로 봐 시당 나기 아니 삼주 도전을 말아서 봐도 시다 내가듯이 다 난그 녀모도 섬도 차상 다 아니 된지가 자대 패당 체지 자대 이게 자대 도발 때네 아니 다 이식이 멤버네 다도 제가 매워서 그래 수지는 그래서
And so, by reciting that mantra, the powerful mantra, the Tre and Pe, to destroy all the magic diagrams, like the vicious intentions of others, the poisonous thought, and so forth. All this will be, destroyed by reciting that mantra.
다 드마디미라 아니 벌을 가래. 고관 좀이 좀 마스. 다 바로 신앙이 고관에 맞아서 다 빠지고 말은 좀 그래. 고관이 좀 마스.
So this Tara is called the Tara, the Tara who destroys all the opponents, or all the negative forces.
아니 전에 진스 검도 많아. 아니 뜻 좋아해 와시. 다 님은 다 좋이도 된대.
So she has a wrathful look.
아니 어떤 적이 다
고도도
검도 많아.
and has also a dark red color.
어다 들리려고 공부해요. 그래서
So I have to meditate something like that.
어다 들리고 좀 맞다가 들리고 좀 맞다가 상타로 이해들어 와.
And so making prostration to such kind of Tara.
어디지? 다 대응 나도 다 시외거든 남한테 다 나도 전에 좀 차와 했어 와.
And so that completes present in reference to the peaceful aspect is completed.
아니 어디지? 다 저보고는 때마다 나서 와. 투모고는 때마다 뇌를 들어와.
And now with the reference to the wrathful aspect, praising in reference to the wrathful aspect, and it has 7 categories again.
다 누구는 쇼로가 뇌 아니 되게 좀마다 강가다 좀 잡아나 말고 장장이 그래서.
And so those are the 7 subsequent verses, and those stars are all in a wrathful aspect.
어디지? 다 좀마도 삼삼 라포다시 좋은 남은 통도 와서 야무 샘지 가지가지 잡아지는 때고 그래.
And so we see all these different aspects of the Buddhas, right? Different appearance, and some has a peaceful and some has wrathful appearance. And this is again, depending on the sentient beings. So some sentient beings we can subdue them in a peaceful way, but some requires a wrathful method also to subdue them.
근데 고나 많이 해가라간 삼삼 미카지를 지금 물론도 잘하고 들이 용된들이나 아니 제주도 말 잡고나 같은데 아니 딱 공개된 이거 하나 아니 딱 물론 거까지도 용어 말해서 이거 그래서.
And so there are benefits like people who have nightmares, who dreams very frightening, who has frightening dreams in the night, and that wakes them up or makes them become very afraid and can't go to sleep. So through those kind of people, if they go to sleep by thinking about or by praying to this wrathful Tara, and they will not have any nightmares.
What? 당연히 다 님바들아 사실 되려와 아니 더다 전이 잠이 거네 또 봐서
So the first one, is praising Tara with reference to how she purifies all the maras and the two obstructions. And the second one is praising Tara with reference to the implements that she holds in her two hands. And the third one is praising Tara through her crown ornament and the sound of her laughter. And the fourth one is praising Tara with reference to how she accomplishes different activities by employing the 10 directional protectors. And then the fifth one is praising Tara with reference to her crown ornament. And the sixth one is praising Tara with reference to her wrathful posture of abiding. And the seventh one is praising Tara with reference to how light radiates from the silver home at her heart. And so then the verse number 8, this is homage Ture, a very dreadful destroyer of Mara's champion, she with frowning lotus visage, who is the slayer of all enemies. And the Jesus Drama said that that's Shiraki pain, Chimbo pain, Yuba. That's so what I mean, trying to just was a pain in Jogo. So Tara, as mentioned, has a great power and also very quick at granting the blessings or prayers. And if you want that drum dodging, the Mayan, some should have my so there's a story related to that, and once there was this meditator who was meditating up in his cave. And then and so one day a beggar came to beg for food to him. And so because he himself is a meditator hermitage, right, who didn't have much to give, so he didn't have anything to give to the beggar. And the Corona Niger or Shuchu, the same change young Tamaki, some Corona, Sandro, Jodach, and that challenge to Martin at the go shows. And the Corona got the margin, and she's a drummer, sort of so he felt very sad, not being able to help the beggar. Because a sentient being came to me with a great hope to find some food, and I'm not able to help him. What a shame! Thinking that he felt very sad, and then he asked the beggar to go out, and he closed the door, and inside he prayed very strongly to Ayatara. And Jesus told me that Tangaro and that Malachi Mutu Naro cheese, Makaji Kondi Sanchin. So he prayed to Ayatara very strongly and honestly to grant him some siddhis or realizations to help this person. And so he closed his eyes and he prayed very strongly in front of the Tara's statue or portrait that he had in his meditation room. And after while he was making this strong prayer with his eyes closed, he saw a sound of some thing falling. And then he heard a sound of falling, something falling. Something falling down. And he checked out the man, and he just told me, and Ojenda, Najenda, and then Gojenda Zokama, and he wanted to stare at me, not much in it. And then when he opened his eye, because he heard the sound, so when he opened his eye, he saw all these ornaments, like the crown ornaments, the necklace, like the bracelets, and the anklets, and all these things. There was these ornaments, the gold ornaments, in front of him. What? And so then he, grabbed those ornaments and then gave it, to the beggar, and so he was able to help the beggar in that way. And
was.
And so there's a benefit in the prayers, in the benefit, right, where it says those who wishes for wealth will have wealth.
What? What are the Chiktadi Karologies that don't know children?
So one of the stories related to Dharma.
We talk about all the stories, then we don't go to the main one. That's what I got the Badish. That Jawad knows the Losai bus. That Kala Shanta Azra, Terin Jibas, that there is any Yerma asset, Yermito, Trillion Yermito Paris. Shakala Shanta and then Trillion Yerm Lotta, Takari, and Trillion, that Jobo Ying is. And the Jipo number, and it shut down Nagi de Kangapan Joba Shingiga, and that Chishiga, and it met up Pemba Jimmy, the Duma, Terando, he said,
and so homage, Ture, right? So homage and Ture very dreadful. So Ture is again a mantra, a Sanskrit word, which means swift or fast. Very fast, like lightning in the sky.
And Jiba Chebo said that Cosinier, Jiba Chebo said that the Trabuna Tamana, and the Jidu Drama, the Trabuna Baida, and the Shadam Nagi, that Dukanga, that Shena Sherry said, or then to Jidu Drama Pachi.
And so very dreadful, which means very scary, right? Very frightening or wrathful, and so that aspect can be also again also applied to her, to apply to the beings, like the beings who are very bad, very nutritious, and all these different kind of beings who are very bad and so forth. So you can even subdue those who are very wrathful, or you can also apply to the aspect, her aspect, who comes in that aspect to subdue those who are who needs to be subdued in a wrathful way.
And the Dara, what the Dara is over there, and Chile, that goes to him to Niamar, they are lot of Jubas, then Judas Jusna, and the Digipo number Jomas, that Dutupa Mevaso is, such over his, and the Dutela, and the Numu with the Pumbu, the Chitao, the light with the Ursi, so that did Shiro.
And so anyway, so the Ture is the swift, right? So swift and very fast in granting the blessings and of the for body and the holy body, holy spirit, and holy mind, and so destroyer of Mara's champion. It says, and so Maras, there are different kind of Maras, right? So the Maras of the Lord of Death, and then the Maras of the aggregates, the Maras of the
Hybrid.
And then the Maras of the delusions. So and the Maras of the Deva Putra, or the son of gods. And so there are 4 different kind of Maras.
What age? And it does not teach. Yan, that what Tanzo and the Tichipo and Jom, Mabasori, that Bangri,
And so these 4 Maras, will be destroyed by this Tara.
And the day shipping not double a day, and
so by reciting this sound in the tray, all these Maras will be destroyed.
And the Chishi and the 20 days, the Kawa that be drove Kazanamji, Jesus Sheda, and it should not come to Oshira Yuris in a death, Sheri, Takari, Trovan Namajan. Not any shooting. And Jawoton Malisomata, the Jig Yumubada, and a Yumubata, the laws of Bada, and then the Chashidan, the laws of a Chason, come Mebas or Merisol, session, Mebas.
And so she with fallen lotus visage, right? So she with fallen lotus visage. So that means she has a very beautiful face, but then in a little bit of the angry aspect, a wrathful aspect, a very beautiful face in a wrathful aspect, and so that's.
The Tawa Topala Padashi, and that Numu Tramachi.
So this, she in that was who is the slayer of all enemies. So the here enemies is the inner enemy, right? So the delusions or the afflictive emotions, or the obstructions. So there are the major enemies. The one who obstructs us from achieving liberation. Those are the afflictive emotions, or delusions in our mind, and then the obstructions, obstruction, to knowledge, and obstruction to, the deluded obstructions. So these are the obstructions, and so that obstructs us from achieving enlightenment. So these are the two, biggest enemies, and she, kills all these enemies, or destroys all these enemies. And to such kind of to such kind of the Tara, Mother Tara, and I make prostration. So at the beginning always is prostration or homage. That's what you're paying homage to. So this Tara, who is very beautiful but slightly wrathful in aspect, who by reciting the word or mantra Ture, and destroys or overcomes all the four maras, and the one who kills all these enemies of the liberation and enlightenment. To that Tara, I make prostration. So this is the Tara who grants power, spring power. And she has a red colored body. And so she has the wrathful look, and so like her eyes are not peaceful like long, but more round and open, more round, and then there's wrinkles on the face showing the anger. Sometimes the mothers show the kids so now there's just the 8th one, right? So 9th one is praising the Tara with reference to the implements that she holds in her 2 hands. And the verse is homage at the heart, her fingers, adorn her with 3 jewels mudra, 3 jewel mudras, and the lightness, masses all excited, all directions and wheels adorn her. And so to homage to whom? To the Tara, who is in her prime youth, in a youthful state, who's sitting in the half cross-legged, like again the left out and right in, and bent in, who is adorned with all these precious gems and wearing divine garments, which are very fine and smooth in touch, and also who's holding the Utpala flower in her hand and at the heart. So it's, holding the lotus with her ring finger and the thumb, like this. And so when you do like this, so her sitting, holding her heart like this, So you see the little finger, the index, and the middle finger, those three are standing up, right? So those three standing up symbolizes the three jewels.
아니 근데 메토 카드 나와지 냥기는 다 셔야 말이더라고.
And so the three jewels, that's the three jewels, and symbolize the three jewels. And the stem, of the flower of the lotus, follows down and goes up, and then the flower blossoms at the level of her ear.
뭐가지? 아니 단내 두가라 쓰는데 니질라 써봐디 아니 메토 카셔봐디 아니 투질라 아니 단 이제도 돈이 또 되시라니 딱 카셔야 되면 오지. 나도 가지나 따대 여서 좀 그랬어.
So that flower, a full blossom, flower shows that she has the full realization, of emptiness, the wisdom that is emptiness, and a great compassion, bodhicitta, who is always looking down on sentient beings, with great compassion all the time.
그러봐. 아니 주다들 때는 다 지금 sem제나 지나서 이제 지금 마타시 있어요. 다 내지나서 좁게 해로 봐 제기 예세로. 난 거기 그래서.
And that also is, the way she sits, symbolizes like telling, don't be afraid, I will always be there to help you and protect you.
아주 말레이시 좀 걸로 제가 랑거 제 손은 줘 봐야 돼. 다 말레이시아 돼. 봐. 아니 가서나. 말레이비 쇼 탐체 다 단단히 샤이 맞지. 내야 누구 전에 다 잡신이 조지하세. 봐. 아마 조진지. 잡지로. 잡진도 들어. 내 조진해. 누구 지슈를 제가 막 주다는 내려라고 싶다. 내려라고 싶으면 돼. 그래서 대셔한테 다 아니 잡신지 샤게로 내려라고
조진.
조진들은 말. 나도 제대로
잡진 세들 대라고 어디 세들. 차에 조진 차진이 잡진 차지 주로 없어요.
샤이 조진. 단데는 조진세도.
잡진 차지 주고 다 주었어요.
저희 갈렸어. 내가 제대로 쉐어 검소샤지에서 딱 잡진지 샤지하세. 아니 잡진지 샤지 전에 아니 딱 공조선가 가디나야 잡진 로고 그래서 tam tsonga yoga ma resirwa tochi shimuru shuda resirwa
전부 삼주
dikam
dikam
dikam yana kemchosum tsumbi jabshinji shagya zeba jikshi tabi jewana checha maja shingi komido chokun selo resirwa kandiwa jabshinji shagya jabshinji sangani
잡진 차례 뉴욕 옥스들어 디스에트는 샹에서
간레나 야고 먼저 지도 친구 미안하 대신 제일 고시 좀더 가까이 내 반인 초진 세대다 내 반인 잡진 있어 looking for them in Buddha.
네, 자유 군주성.
네, 조전, 반신 조전. 네 샤들은 조전이다. 그렇지, 샤들은 조전.
네, 조전.
자유,
잡진 자유 주고.
네, 지도 좀 사실 망하지 않으셔도
잡진 자유 주고 가서 되잖아.
조전이 샤들 하세요. 다시 제대로 빠진 조정 should use 일단 조정. 내가 잡지 지나다 빠진 인사 말. 남주 얼마나 야슈들 좀 더 가만 마슈들 좀 도와도. 나 대단.
유버스 그래서 맞지. 자유 잡진 자유 유버 옥스도.
대파절. 네. 저자디 아니 자리시야 파절 옥. 아니 자리 선지 잡고 해서 그러. 선지 많이 봐. 잡고 해서 그러.
And so this is the implements, the right hand and the left hand, right? So the left hand, she's holding the lotus, Utpala lotus, which is held by her thumb and ring finger, and the little index and the middle finger that's straight out, symbolizing the three jewels, and lotus blossoming at the level of her ear. And then on the right hand, is in the mudra of granting the supreme realization, like this. And in some persons, is the mudra of granting supreme realization changes into the mudra of granting refuge, and so the granting refuge will be like this. So in the taras, you have mostly you have like sitting in this. So this is like granting supreme realizations.
Okay, 다 말이 쇼진 콜로 잼베 사랑가 오지는 아니 문테비 쇼 차상 아니 지도 좀 코랑기 딱기 고설라 때네 아니 다 송걸 해서 지도 좀 파셔watch 야 지도 좀 끼 고설라 때네 아니 말이 쇼 강가 수지된다 그래 고강 수지된다 그래서
and so there's light rays and masses all excited in all directions in the wheels at her. And so she have this the power to protect all beings of all directions.
다 드라마디나 산데 나지 드라마스 산데 시청이
And so this Tara is called the Tara of the redwood forest, residing in the Pure Land.
꿈도 장악 장문 장문
I don't know, have you heard of this redwood forest?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
Redwood forest, something like that. I don't know. This is a special quality of that, the wood, a tree in that forest, which has that, which have this a special smell. Or some say that the trees, they make this sound, of the Dharma and so forth. So anyway, so in Tibetan we call it sending forest, sending sending tree. But I don't know, in English some translation they say like Tara of redwood forest. And she has a dark green colored body.
다 사실 선바 다 어jen다 제대로 또 봐서 다 어jen다 제대로 또 그래서
And now the third one, which is praising with reference to how, praising with her crown ornament and the sound of laughter.
아니 저러가 저와 샤다라도 가와지비 어찌 정확하게 제발지 대다리 대다리도 없는 사람 아스와
And then Homeshi, who she's so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, and a mirthful laughing with Tatari, subjugating Mara's devas.
그러와 안에 정말 있어 그러와 정말 신경 코발을 주기 다 가라 샤다서 나네 아니 정말 나라 당 산지에 때마다 대화 이게 들었다 시가 가오치를 돼 그러와 rapto 가위스
She so joyous. Joyous means like very happy, right? And so what is she, and happy? Is when is she happy? Is when she sees somebody who is practicing Dharma, who is practicing virtuous actions all the time, and not engaging in non-virtuous actions. So seeing that makes her very happy, joyous.
아니 우지 다 제. 근데 대봐. 아니 다 지도 좀마다 산지 땜바라 마르와다 마타바싱 같아서 아니 서지는 데스 아니 림보치 우젠 다 거의 괜찮게 옷을 가도 나는 좋아라 때네 단소 다 가로 다 얘기 다 하나 봐진데 아니 뜻다람세 가로 다 제당 그래서 제당 말아가지고 그러는데 다 줘봐지 그래서 이제는 좋을 때
And so then, by the light radiating from the crown ornament in her heart, and she will subdue or destroy, subdue those who are against Dharma, who doesn't practice Dharma, or who doesn't engage in virtuous actions, and always engages in non-virtuous actions, will be subdued through the light emanated from her crown ornaments.
그래서 나그 제자 세나 하히 해 호세 깨말아도 깨말았는데 심지는 좀 마시고 그래서
And with the also with the mirthful laughing, with the tutare, and or other a powerful mantras like haha, he, like that, those kind of mantras, she would subjugate or subdue those who always engage in non-virtuous, wrong actions. So haha is like laughter, like laughing. He means you made a mistake, like pointing out a mistake. You made a mistake.
You guys see now it's a person. And then Meletana Koaniman, Koana Melanum Master, the Dromedana Mazota, no one to it. He
So just like they're saying that when Liberator looks at the worldly people, he thinks they're crazy. But when worldly people looks at Liberator, they think he's crazy. So they're laughing at each other. So just like that, Ayatara is laughing at us, by thinking how these beings, under sufferance and don't know how to be free from sufferance and so forth. So by thinking about our condition, she makes that laughter. So hey means like calling. Hey,
come here.
Calling, come here, come here.
And that getting out of the ho, and that what does she do?
Ho means yes, like that. Do like that, and that's good.
What that the Dara Nagi da, and the matter about chocolate, and the same shit as a ta. Oh, Pentochen is what?
And so by uttering that kind of mantra like Tutara, benefit the sentient beings.
And then Dokimji, the Gara Wanshu, teach the Chivin, Jitenso, and the Tanji to one and ten mass, the Chasantasi want to do it.
And then also subjugate the Maras and Devas, so all these different kind of Maras are Dukaramshus. So there's the Deva Putra and other the gods, the Devas, who are afflicted by strong delusions, and so those kind of Devas will be subjugated. And so those who all those negative forces that obstruct one from achieving liberation and enlightenment will all be subdued.
And in Jitin Domotaya, the Jatakaja Nazo, and in Dovalanga Zuzuminiga, and the Tuchin Kasan, there's a council was what the Zula did at the Mugajeta Tene, Tower and Gobashi.
And also the seven world, by the laughter of this, by the laughter of the Tutara and mantras like haha, he, will lead all these beings, the seven world. We talked about the seven world, the five desire realms, and then there's the directional world, which is the form realm, and then the space world, which is the formless realm. Right? So those seven world beings will be led to liberation and enlightenment.
Tati Domatimana, Yang favorite Domas, Kundo Marbo. Domatra Saval Tene, and it doesn't get Dumama, Serios, and Yang favorite Domas, Kundo Marbo is.
And so this Tara, dispels the torments of other beings, so it's called also the Tara dispelling torments, and has a marble, red colored body.
What? Tati, Sholoka, Sachi Shiva, Shonshu, Jin, Trilly Jibikun, Tabasa, what?
And now the fourth one, the fourth category, and it's in verse 11. It says, praise the Tara with reference to how she accomplishes different activities by employing the 10 directional protectors.
And the Jesus drama, and the Tasulation Saji Jomi, Sonams, Tanjungubani Mania, and the Saji Jomi La, Lachimo Jet, Shunjo Joma, Shunjo Jello, Shunjo Jella also by the twin Gubashi. We could judge on the and Gubashi. I don't matter to his.
And so first it says us with the homage. So homage to who? so the homage to the Ayatara.
아니 쇼쇼좀이 따면서 좀 맞죠. 아니 둘도 나와서 말해 지금 거니다. 아니 상제 아니 semchen다 상제라다 상제가 때마 소마다 semchen가 이렇게 좀 쉬어서요.
So Tara who summons all these protectors of the 10 direction, to accomplish activities to benefit or to help beings who are practicing Dharma and help to increase the teachings of the Buddha.
아니 쇼쇼쇼에 라체다 당연하도 지금 뭐 몰라대 막다 도전하는 거라서.
And so the 10 directional protectors are those like we mentioned earlier, talked about earlier, of the east direction, west direction, and so forth.
던져 아니 자상 아니 수다 응고니 수다 고니 아니 선전하야 벤도 나왔지 뭐지 벤도 지주 그래서.
And so he summons all these protectors and makes them to work for the benefit of sentient beings, not to cause any harm to beings.
아니 촌이요 이건 아니 다 초에 촌이 아니 세례 대행원이 아니 호이가 잡도가라더니 폼바스나 다 가지 조회 폼바란 조와 개회 폼바라 개와 다 가리 폼이나 폼바 가서 가리가리 폼바 가서 다 폼은 다 매베도 들어와 두 강가다 접하시 그래서 들어와 호이가 잡도.
So it says, Home she able to summon all earth guardians in assembly, shaking, frowning with her home sign, saving from every misfortunes. So misfortunes in those who are lacking wealth or merit and so forth. So those who lack wealth, give them wealth, and those who lack merits, give them merits and so forth. And so right now we're lacking liberation or enlightenment, right? We don't have that. Lacking means don't have that, right? And so those who lack the enlightenment or liberation should help to achieve liberation or enlightenment.
And Dharma in Tenley,
and so the name of this Tara is called Tara who summons, because she summons all these 10 directional protectors to help sentient beings. And she has an orange colored body. And so then the fifth one, which is a fifth category, which is in the verse 12, praising Tara with reference to her crown ornament. So homage crown adorned with the crescent moon, all ornaments most shining, Amitabha in her hair knot, sending out much light eternal. And so it's paying homage to what kind of Tara?
And David Temi Ujet Nata, Dawasheka, Tepa Tambu, Dawati,
who is adorned with the crescent moon, right? The Tara, who is adorned with the crescent moon, like the half moon.
You know what? Ani Jamataji, Ani Jamataji, Dharma Asra, tell also be any Jamatamchit, Ani Shund Dibi, Hodre changes, Radam Bashis, Otan Jamshi, that what other than Jamboy, they true in any Jawa Pami Rudaga, and the Drama Corrigan Rudaga, and the Hapana Katina Sanjita should they was.
And so to that Tara, whose hair is adorned with the crescent moon, and who has her hair very silky hair, smooth and silky, and on top of which is the lord of that family, lord of the family. So there's different family Buddhas. So the lord of that family, is the Amitabha. So the Tara falls into the family of Amitabha Buddha. And so the lord of that family, is the Amitabha Buddha. So Amitabha Buddha, residing in her hair, and the hair knot. And sending out much, much in the light eternal. So always, sending out, the lights and of, blessings and the realizations and so forth, and causing, everything, to be auspicious for sentient beings. And the name of this Tara is the Tara of auspiciousness, and the color of the body, is yellow. And the sixth one, is the praising Tara, with reference to her wrathful posture of abiding. And that's in the verse 13, right? There's a homage she made to wrath blaze-like on the eon-ending fire abiding, the right stretch and left bend, joy surrounds you, troops of enemies destroying. 아니 샤더가빈 담아 메트나 딱 가wan 담아 심하다면 아니 메드 치치스네 담메 가빈 담아 메드 메차 좀다 사고 있어요. 와 디파비는 슝이 예스 근데 이해자 이용거기 아니 자이폰 남은 좀 받다 용모가는 시시에 좀 잡아시는 좀 받아 주요래 다 되는 게 있어요. So to homage to whom? To homage to the Tara, and who is residing in the blazing fire, of the end of the eon, fire that that destroys the end of the eon. And who is sitting in the legs, in the position of the right, leg to stretch and left bent in.
아니 근데 코스야 돼. 아니 주진 콜로 아니 쇼다치 잡고나 봐 쉬어야 아니 대자 대대나나 아니 대다 나봐 근데 주진 콜로 말 봐. 코네 대자소 아니 드라이 폰나 다 다도 다도 아니 다 대기 다 가로 로바스 가는데 아니 내 자신다 또 아니 코로 맞아서 자상다 좀 밤에 같이 그래서 드라이 폰은 좀 와서
And then she is surrounded, by all these sentient beings. And surrounded by the beings, to whom she always turned the wheel of Dharma. So the beings, the fortunate beings, fortunate ones, to whom she always she always turns the wheel of Dharma. And then destroys the troops of the enemies. So the enemies here again, like we talked about earlier, the inner enemies, all the grasping at the self, the grasping at the true existence and so forth. So these are the delusions, the main delusions, and these are all be destroyed.
What? How do you tell?
And so the name of this Tara is called so well, this is called Tara, nodding here and there, like with in the wrathful posture, and so that's the name of this Tara. And it's the color of the body, is a dark cloud, very dark cloud. So like the very dark cloud when there's a heavy rain, and that causes the heavy rain, that kind of color of that kind of cloud.
What? 다 쇼로가 사치 돈바 쇼로가 지시와도 이스로와.
And now the seventh category, which is in verse 14.
We can finish today all the okay. 아이.
준순서.
준이. 감가진도. 다음 내신 됐잖아. 지리다.
네. 근데 제마다 아주 지려버려.
양주시 그런 주마대. Today we start at 41, then next finish, okay?
So this one is praising Tara with reference to how light radiates from the syllable home at her heart. And so home is she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scalding with the letter home. The 7 levels she does conquer.
아니 딱 간지 지도 좀에 되게 샤기 뭐더라고 사지 가려 사지 뭐라 샤기 사이 뭐라스 아니 샤기 막 돈도치 나바다 아니 샤기 막 돈거리 쇼그리 세로.
So to whom do we pay homage? Homage to the power with her hand on the ground by strikes the ground with her palm and her foot beats the ground to that Tara.
아니 대리 동사대 파지 아니 호이라 오전 초 대리 전에 람바 대사대 파지 아니 야 당기 지텐데 다른 납치로 왔어 대사가 사제 돌아 아니 댐네 아니 섬진다 정제를 매봐서 그랬어 야 대마에 아니 다지 나도 동수도 이렇게가 매와 제네 아니 섬제 좋은데 그래서
그래서 지금 요신 굴워지 이제만 죽이기 시작을 전혀 때 최대 남단데 템포럴 제네 대말에 네 레라데지에서
대반제네 지시촌이
템포럴
제네 샤이게 되네 홍기자 아니 어제 매 차가 매쳤다 말을 말해 근데 전바들은 내 배에 뭐도 못 맞아서 나서 그래서
so she who's pressing the ground and beating with her feet has the appearance of the face of like a lotus, but with the slight wrathful with the wrathful aspect, and then and then there's a syllable of home at the palm, in the palm of her right hand, from where the light radiates. And so from that light, from the syllable home, the lights radiates and strikes on all the beings of the 7 world, and thereby benefit them or help them.
아니 truly 르나가다 좀 계시 그렇게 semchena 타비상 거 반자 마스
What's it go came this? Yeah, was it?
내가 마스 그렇게 semchena 타비라는 거 반자 마스 타비는 거 그래서
So she, anyway, so the light radiates and like a sparking of the fire from the cerebral home, which strikes into all these beings of the 7 world and conquer them. It's like to subdue them. And so by subduing them and then lead them to the state of liberation and enlightenment. To such Tara I pay homage. And so that completes the verse 14.
되네. 아니 다 무슨 바디서 그냥 문제. 아니 로어로 관계 진짜 편하게 해서
So she has a beautiful face like the lotus, but in a wrathful aspect, and the syllable hum at the palm of her right hand, which radiates in lights and like sparks, like a fire, and that destroys all the or subdue that strikes the sentient beings and subdue them and then lead them to the state of enlightenment or liberation to such Dharma like a homage. That's what it means.
야 사진을 샤건 대지 남지 샤지 동세한테 대중한테 사자를 마셔봤지 사진 냐왈레 풍부되라서 그냥 호잉 대야 뻔히도 샤가 파셔는데 근데 명소 해서로 사진 에너지 풍부되 명소 해서
And so where she is she who strikes the ground, and so ground not like literal ground, but to this contaminated aggregate, and then when it beats their feet like with the syllable hum, light radiating the wisdom of wisdom lies in emptiness, that destroys these contaminated aggregates and so forth. So if we pray and make a question to the Tara, then there are these kind of benefits.
Okay.
But, excuse me, what is her name and what's her appearance?
세대가서
세대 다다나가는 다들 대문도 들어와. 저기 중도. 얘는 다 민도스 다들 세대. 다들 세대 세우면 됐어. 세대에 저서 슈마티 쳐줬어.
It's not clear here, so we should find it out.
That's the last paper.
That's the last page. Yes.
I don't have the commentary. 어떻게 다 같이 지서 좀 하나 써왔으면 느린느린 펜토를 해서 다 좋은 것도 거기 와서.
So it's mainly that if you pray to such and such Dharma, then there's this kind of benefits, such and such benefits like it's mentioned here.
Okay. 다시 좋은 거. Okay, then maybe we have no gentle questions. Maybe next week we talk a little bit fast, then we get also to give some questions. But it's very hard to explain. This is what's it? Poetry. Poetry. Therefore, very hard to 소수까지 가면 가서 소수까지 가고 소수까지 가고
hard to fight.
I have a question.
Yeah.
May I have the microphone?
We're understanding the benefit of reciting 21 praises mantra. If say there's not much time, or we still want to show praise, if we say Om Tari Tutari Tore Soha, can that bring that same kind of benefit as 21 praises?
Yes. That's a short 21 praises Tara, right? So there, it actually basically goes through those mantras, Om Tare Tutare Tore So. So what will Om bring, what will Tare bring, what will Tutare bring, and so forth. So all this, purpose of all the practice and study, is to achieve happiness we want, that we want, and to be free from the suffering that we don't want, right? So Ture, Tutarai, so when you say Tutare, Tudare, express all the fears, all the sufferings, fears. Tudare, Ture Tunatani So, and then Ture, Dare, Tudare, Ture. Dare is the Dara, right? The heroic, swift heroic Dare. And Tudare is there. And Ture accomplishes all the wishes, all the wishes. Ture soil, and Dare, Ture, Soha, and Soha is is planting the seed, to have all those things, so achievement, enlightenment, and so forth. And so to this 10 syllable, I pay homage. So they're saying that. So that short, verse, short, abbreviated version of the 21 places to Tara.
So
that's mainly basically the 10 mantras, right? 10 syllable mantras.
So if there's a person we're worried about their health or their safety, we can visualize them and recite that mantra to Centaur's protection.
나중에 되는 진짜 수업 진짜 저거서 답이 세답체 송화되는데 진짜 초과되는 월초에는 미션 달이 신달 미터 수 나게는 돼서 포바되는 뭐는 잡을 뒤로서 제가 믿어서 포는 돼서 되는 내에서 싸워서 something digest.
어떻게 되는 가서 그랬어.
Yes, of course we can do that.
당신은 저 생각하는데 추로가 주주대 배 유미도 눌러서 더서 그래. 저랑 얘기하다 싶으시면.
So it's in the page 245.
245.
245. There's a 5 line.
That is blessing all prayers, greeting all benefit with Dharma.
No.
This is a different. This is another prayer. It's another condensed one.
Yes.
No,
No, that combines all those 5 mantras.
So what is the exact mantra? Can you Om, Tare,
Tutare, Ture, Soha. Soha, yes.
대도 다른 제말 때문에 간에 되게 대단한 말이 막 혼자를 was.
And so that's on the meaning of the mantra, then you make the prayers.
Okay, got it.
Om Tare Tatare Ture Soha. Okay? Okay, thank you. Then we have some questions we can do some next week.
More questions next week, okay?
We also do a little bit quick, not just one verse and we just stop there. Okay? But I hope you guys a little bit get a little idea what to talk about. Usually with the Om, we don't know what to talk about. Of course you guys may be English, I don't know, but Tibetan may hard to understand.
No, but the poetry is exquisite. So the poetry in itself is a gift to all of us of the root of the mantra that you're giving us as a transmission to help each one of us and the sentient beings of the joy of crossing the different currents of our minds that is stuck or hurt or harmful by others or to oneself. And so it's a very high sound.
Yeah, it's very, very high sound, also very benefit, very powerful, and we can recite, even we do short one, it's good.
The only question left I have, kindly if you don't mind, from my grandmother, I was given the teaching from Christianity about forgiveness. So, to implement the nature of training my mind into my being first, to be of useful and goodness to other beings, in myself first, by not harming myself and others. The place of forgiveness is very large in my life, in my heart, and I'm seeking inside of this prayer, this non-omission prayer, the placement of the forgiveness. The forgiveness to oneself. I forgive you, I forgive me. That was a teaching from my grandma. So when I listen to the mantra, there's a process like stairs of one step at a time. Is to rebuild the trust, to rebuild that we are on the path. I think that's what I'm seeking, of an affirmation internally that we are in the path. Because it's so overwhelming, the nature of one's karma, as you look at all the different scenery of your own private life. Not private, it's nothing private, truly, but your own karma, of the different, like a movie that is in front of your third eye, and then you unfold all that and you say, oh wow, oh, how am I going to move here? So that energy of rebuilding, that's the aspect of the nature of the Tara. I'm looking in myself. You offer different color, the red one and the green one and all the different changing ones in front of us. I don't want to do something outside of myself, even though we live in a planet that is constantly challenging our nature, as you shared earlier, by the nature of the trees and the different season that is teaching us the impermanence. And so, the forgiveness is very important for me.
Anybody, very important to give forgiveness. Whatever you do virtues, you can give to your, dedicate your grandmothers, purify all the negative karma. This is forgiveness.
And so when you recite Om Tare Sutara, it's rebuilding that trust.
Yes, yeah. That's good. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Have a good night or not.
Maybe it's Tibet, I don't know.
It's India. Time to go through, right? Okay, thank you.
Okay, page 39.